Aloha mai kako. This is Maile Aiu Domingo with Hamauiloko Foundation and the Music Within. So today's talk story sesh is just from Mama's point of view of what my two boys experienced on a recent hike. So they did the haiku stairs hike from the Honolulu side, and there were just two perspectives that I want to share with you. And I actually wouldn't even know about it except that a friend called me and told me about what she saw. And so I get to share about it. One, because I think it gives us an example. It gives us a witness of how we too are battling those same kind of battles within, and how we can be victorious, especially when it has to do with upholding our dignity, which is our favorite word, right? So my two boys, one's 21 and fit, one's 26, 7, just had a baby and less fit. And so the 21-year-old has been up there a couple times already. 2 weeks ago, I think it was, he ran up the hill and ran back down in like less than 5 hours, and it's just basically a great workout for him. It was drier and not as dangerous as this past weekend, but this past weekend it was stormy, cloudy, and just totally socked in. I believe they couldn't probably see more than 10 or 20 feet in front of them. So if you've ever done the hike, then you kind of know. And then my older son, he also said that it was kind of like ascending through waterfalls, because the water was just flowing down that hill. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, it sounds magical, but at the same time it sounds treacherous. And my girlfriend said, yeah, it was treacherous, to say the least. So anyways, but the difference for my 21-year-old this time to the time that he just ran up the hill and ran back down was the fact that he was also the steward in care and in service to some other families. And so there were some teenagers there, some young adult ladies, and they had never done the hike before. So they didn't know what to expect. And if you know anything about that hike, it's scary. It's like sheer cliff to the right, sheer cliff to the left, walk in the middle, don't tip over. At least that's my mommy impression of it. And you know, they brought back videos, so that's pretty much what it looks like, which is fine. I think when it's dry, I think me mentally, I could probably tackle it. But when it's wet and muddy and really windy, yeah, I'm not so sure. Especially the little, I shouldn't say littler. They're just littler in size. So the wind could blow them off if they weren't weighted down well with their, planted with your feet. So anyway, he had, well, I guess he chose to take the responsibility and care of these young ladies traversing through this 11+ mile hike. And I think at some point, these ladies were scared. And sometimes, you get just paralyzed in our fear. And he had to come and walk them through it, talk them through it, help their mind have a way to be conquering those fear thoughts. And I guess the way he did it was beautiful, and couldn't be more proud of him. But I think that speaks to what we all need sometimes. We all need someone else to come and put their hand on our back and tell us it's okay, and walk us through that fear season of life, and uphold our dignity and not make us feel ridiculous, right? For going on that hike, or for not taking the next step, or for being paralyzed, but just loving us through it. And so I think that's what he did. So I'm really proud of him. And then my other son, 20, honestly, I don't know how to do the math, but I think it's 26. Maybe I know it, it's gonna be 27 pretty soon. Anyway, he had a couple of challenges heading up there. One, not as fit as a 21-year-old. Two, not good shoes. And three, glasses. Yeah, he's pretty much a blind bat without glasses. Well, what they didn't realize was that the cloud cover would be so severe that it just fogs up his glasses. And I guess the first couple, 3-4 miles of the hike, it poured, so they were all wet. So he couldn't clean his glasses up there either. So anyways, it was just one of those things that maybe an observer from the outside would say, you shouldn't have done that hike. But have you guys ever experienced the call to do something? You're like, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not meant to do that. No, what? I guess I'm doing it. And I guess this son of mine had a call. He wanted to, felt the need to, was driven to do this hike. And he found himself in circumstances under which he couldn't pretty much rely on himself to get down. And so I think his relationship with the Creator, the Almighty, was one of the biggest things that got him down. But the other thing was there was a gentleman on the hike that offered to partner with him on the way down. And it was kind of the same thing, you know, because he couldn't see and his shoes were slippery, he needed that same kind of verbal guidance of where to place his body in the wind, in the rain, cold, slipping, falling. And it was crazy. Like, from my point of view, it was crazy what he had to go through. But yet at the same time, he's like, okay, I got up here, now I gotta get back down. And I think that's like a lot of our life struggles, is we see ourselves getting to some place and maybe we could push through it, figure out how to get there, but coming back home, you know, coming back to neutral isn't always the easiest thing to do in life. And so I just want to say how proud I am of my two sons tackling that mountain. The mountain here and the mountain here, and of course that mountain that body can physically conquer. And it's just it's really great when a friend can call you and edify your children, both their will to win and be victorious, as well as their physical capability to lead a group safely down a giant mountain. So anyway, I just thought that was very much a demonstration of the theology of your body. In and through Tadashi's body, he was able to demonstrate who God is. And in and through Keahi's body, he was ever able to experience who God is and how he's there and how he speaks to us, both through the body and through the spirit. And so I close with that, inviting you to tackle your mountains with your body, in union with your spirit, because that's who you are. You're a human being. Guess what? You got body and spirit. You got to deal with both. Not always easy, but definitely a challenge. So thought I'd share that with you for the Music Within today. Looking forward to joining you for lots more stories. Aloha.